Greetings, taxable assets, or should I say, collateral damage. Welcome to the Departmento Analytica. I am Senior Auditor Valerius Krause.
Processing.
And what you're listening to right now is not entertainment. Let's be clear. Entertainment is a resource you cannot, and I repeat, cannot afford.
This is a mandatory fiscal review.
That's right. Today, we're conducting a line item audit. The file was submitted by civilian contractor Auspex Tactics, and the title is a work of art. Ranking the power of every Primarch in Warhammer 40k 10th edition.
Audit file. #40k 10e 2026. Subject. Primarch efficiency versus civilian speculation.
Speculation is the word scribe, exactly the word. This report from contractor Auspex, I've read it, and it reeks of optimism. You can smell the hope coming off the page.
Hope is not quantifiable metric.
And in the Departmento, hope is a rounding error that, well, leads to bankruptcy. He ranks these demigods based on feelings, on play rates, from a sample size that wouldn't satisfy a servitor's logic engine. A tier list, he calls it. I call it propaganda.
Optimistic propaganda.
Exactly. So today, we balance the books. We're going to compare this sentimental drivel against my own ledger, Primarch meta-analysis, fact-checking theses. We're going to see who generates value and who is just a drain on resources.
Belief in false efficiency is a crime.
And I am the judge. Scribe, pull up the first file. Let's start with the Phoenician.
Acknowledged. Audit item A Fulgrim, the Primarch of the Emperor's Children.
Yes. What's the damage report? Where does our civilian contractor place him?
According to the report from contractor Auspex, Fulgrim is ranked at number 6. That is, the bottom of the list.
The bottom. Well, that's a start. But why? What's the financial breakdown?
Yeah.
What's the justification for this valuation?
The contractor states that Fulgrim costs 340 points. He notes that the coterie of the conceded detachment is the most popular and performant way to field him.
Even though there's a detachment literally named for him. Go on.
He highlights a fight's first ability and a stat line of 16 wounds, however. He concludes that Fulgrim is an underpowered choice, and his datasheet feels anemic.
Anemic. He calls it Demon Prince of Slaanesh, anemic. The contractor is looking at the receipt, scribe, but he isn't looking at the tax history.
Yeah.
340 points. Let's just stop right there.
Pausing.
340 points. Put that number in context for the jury.
It is roughly 17% of a standard 2,000-point strike force budget.
Nearly 1/5 of your total liquidity. When you allocate that much to a single model, it's not a unit anymore. It's what we in the Departmento call a distressed asset.
Definition required. Distressed asset.
It means if he dies, you don't just lose a model. You lose the game. You lose the entire fiscal quarter. Now, the contractor, he says anemic. That's a biological term. We deal in economics.
The correct term is inflationary liability.
Yes, because you see, Fulgrim was released in a very specific window, the Legends window. Scribe, please explain to the civilians what that designation implies for the Imperial Tournament Circuit.
Legend status indicates units that have been restricted from competitive match play events. They are effectively non-existent for tournament data.
So they don't get updates.
No point adjustments or balance updates in the quarterly data slates.
Exactly. For the first fiscal quarter, he was tax evasion. People were just hallucinating his value because he wasn't even legal to play. Auspex ranks him low now, but he fails to articulate the structural failure of the asset.
It is not that he is anemic.
No, it's that he is a stat check liability in a market that is just flooded, absolutely flooded with high liquidity shooting.
The pro-Primarch meta-analysis indicates that the post-release environment was a shooting gallery.
A shooting gallery is putting it mildly. I mean, look at the meta in late 2025. You've got Talocrasis suit blocks, you have Eldari Bright Lance walls. The Imperial Guard is pointing Earthshaker cannons at anything taller than a barricade.
Fulgrim costs between 340 and 400 points.
And he's a melee asset. He has to walk.
He does have a movement characteristic of 14 inches.
Oh, he moves fast, Scribe. He just dies faster. And that, right there, is the definition of a high-risk speculative asset. Let's do the math.
Yeah.
Because the civilian contractor seems to just gloss over the probability curve.
But Fulgrim relies on a 4+ invulnerable save.
A 50% probability. A coin flip. You're betting your 400-point investment on a coin flip. Now imagine you're facing, say, a Tau Hammerhead railgun. Scribe, what's the damage profile on that weapon this fiscal year?
Strength 20, AP -5, damage characteristic, D6 + 6.
D6 + 6, so minimum 7 damage, maximum 12. If you fail that one coin flip, that single 4+ roll, Fulgrim loses half his wounds. Gone.
A liquidity crisis.
2 shots. and your 340-point investment is vaporized. If you invest that many points into a model that relies on a coin flick, and your opponent invests the same points in a volume fire that forces you to flip that coin 10 times a turn, well, you do the math and you're going to lose.
The contractor claims he fails to integrate.
I say he fails the good stuff efficiency test. Why would you buy Fulgrim when you could just buy more Noise Marines?
Noise Marines offer distributed saturation fire. Fulgrim concentrates value into a single targetable point.
It's basic economics. Diversify your portfolio. Fulgrim is a gatekeeper. That's what he is. He bullies the poor. You take him to a local RTT, where people bring unoptimized lists. Sure, he'll blend them.
But at the World Championships...
At the WTC, he is a liability. He bankrupts the investor. A professional player looks at Fulgrim and just sees a sinkhole for points. So the verdict on Audit Item A is clear.
High-risk speculative asset.
Correct. Rank 6 is accurate, but the reasoning is completely flawed. He's not weak. He's just too expensive for a market that values durability over flash. Next.
Moving to Audit Item B, Angron, the Red Angel, World Eaters faction.
Oh, the Berserker. The angry toddler. What does our civilian contractor have to say about this depreciating asset?
Contractor Auspex ranks Angron at number 5. He notes that the Reborn in Blood rule was nerfed significantly in the Codex release.
Nerfed is one word for it.
Specifically, he mentions that achieving triple sixes on the Blessings of Khorn roll is harder. However, he claims play rates are rising.
Oh, or they.
Sitting at roughly 31%, he asserts that he is strong enough to play in casual games.
Strong enough for casual games. That is the participation trophy of tactical analysis.
Yeah.
We are not here to discuss casual game score, but we're here for the ruthless arithmetic of victory.
Understood.
The contractor mentions the nerf, but he misses the nuance. He misses the crash.
The crash, sir.
The Angron Casino is closed. Open the Primarch Meta-Analysis, tab 6. Read the section on the December 2025 Balanced Data Slate.
Accessing. Section 6.2. The December 2025 Data Slate killed the reliable resurrection. It is no longer a strategy. It is a lottery ticket.
A lottery ticket. Before, you could manipulate the dice. You could use the Berserker Glaive. You could use Favor of Khorn rerolls. You could fish for those triple sixes. You could, with math, guarantee that Angron would come back.
A renewable resource. A recurring revenue stream.
Exactly. And now, you're rolling 8 dice and praying to a chaos god who doesn't understand probability. The chances of rolling 3 6s on 8 dice without any manipulation is... What is described?
The probability is approximately 19.5% per roll sequence.
Less than 20%. A 1 in 5 chance. You're basing your entire strategy on that. That's not a strategy. It's gambling with the Emperor's coin.
Yeah.
And even if you do roll it, even if the stars align, the contractor misses the fine print.
The new unit status ruling.
Ah, yes. The fine print. This is where the audit gets bloody. When Angron returns via Reborn in Blood, the rules commentary, which I assume our civilian contractor skimmed while drinking his soy calf, states he returns as a new unit.
Implications. He loses all persistent buffs.
He comes back naked. Metaphorically, of course. If you spent command points to give him +1 to wound, gone. Any modifiers he gathered, gone. Defensive buffs, wiped clean. He returns inefficient. He's a rebooted system with no data.
Yet the play rate is rising.
And the contractor sees that 31% play rate and thinks nature is healing. I see a dead cat bounce.
Dead cat bounce is a financial term indicating a temporary recovery in share prices of a declining asset.
Precisely. The World Eaters faction didn't survive because Angron is okay, as Auspex claims. It survived because smart investors, the true auditors of the battlefield, pivoted.
They stopped buying Angron stock.
And started buying 8-bound and Exalted 8-bound.
The pro-Primarch meta-analysis confirms this. It classifies Angron as a distraction Carnifex.
And that is all he is now. A 340-point distraction. You throw him forward to die so that your actual earners, the 8-bound, can do the work. He is a write-off. He is intended to be lost. He is not the primary earner.
So rank 5 is appropriate.
The rank is fine, but do not mistake play rate for efficiency. People play him because they own the model and it looks cool. The Departmento doesn't care about cool. We care about yield. Next item.
Audit Item C, Magnus the Red. The Thousand Sons Primarch.
Now we're talking. The Crimson King, the one asset in this entire miserable galaxy that actually understands compound interest.
Contractor Auspex ranks Magnus the Red at number 3.
Number 3. This is why we need audits. This is gross negligence. Read the details before I have you turned into a toaster oven.
The contractor notes he costs 435 points. He suggests Magnus is best used in the Grand Coven detachment. He compares him to a queen in chess.
Flattering but irrelevant. Continue.
He admits Magnus is a centerpiece, but ranks him below Mortarion and the Lion.
Below Mortarion, below the Lion. This is madness. This is mathematical heresy. Scribe, pull up the S-Cure correction in our internal ledger. What is Magnus's inclusion rate in top-performing Thousand Suns lists?
According to the internal report, lists featuring Magnus account for nearly 95% of the faction's top placings.
95%. That is not a choice. That is a mandate. Magnus is not rank 3. He is the entire economy of the Thousand Suns. Let me explain the Cabal point economy, since our civilian contractor seems to think this is just about shooting fireballs.
Cabal points are a resource generated by Thousand Suns units to perform rituals.
They are currency, and Magnus generates 4 of them. 4. In an economy where a key ritual like Twist of Fate, the one that strips armor saves, costs 9 points, Magnus is paying almost half the rent himself.
Removing him would cause a deficit.
It would cause bankruptcy. You can't afford your rituals without him. You're just playing shiny blue space marines with bad guns. It's that simple.
The contractor does mention that the Grand Coven detachment is superior to the Cult of Magic.
He mentions it, but he doesn't understand why. He talks about synergy. I'm talking about insurance. The Grand Coven detachment offers a stratagem, a crucial one, destined by fate.
Destined by fate. Effect: change the damage characteristic of an attack to 0.
Change it to 0. In a meta defined by railguns and hunter-killer missiles and anti-tank weaponry that deals d6+6 damage, the ability to look at a failed save and just say, no, that is priceless.
Asset protection.
It's limited liability. The Cult of Magic lets you do more damage. But you know what? Dead assets deal 0 damage. Grand Coven keeps the primary asset alive. Magnus is the only Primarch who reliably pays his dividends. He buffs the army, he generates currency, and he kills tanks. To rank him 3rd is an insult to the very act of auditing. He is the king of the fiscal year.
Noting correction in the ledger. Magnus the Red promoted to S tier. Going to...
Hold on. Stop. Stop everything.
Senior Auditor.
Do you hear that?
I hear the ventilation unit, sir. It appears to be oscillating at an irregular frequency.
It's singing, Scribe. It's singing the song of incompetence. And this recaf, look at it. It's got a film on it. It looks like an oil slick on a high world ocean. I asked for recaf black. This tastes like engine coolant filtered through a guardsman's sock.
Ugh. Budget cuts, sir. The Departmento has reallocated liquid refreshment funds to the Indomitus Crusade propaganda machine.
Of course they did. And the ink. This quill, it scratches. It doesn't glide. I suspect they're watering down the ink with corpse starch byproducts again. Smells like a mortuary in here.
Shall I file a complaint form 10C?
A complaint form. Who reads them? No one. Listen to me, you civilians out there. You think you know stress? You think balancing a checkbook is hard? Try balancing the caloric intake of a hive city while drinking coolant.
Sir.
I challenge you. Go to the suggestion box, look at the comment section down below, and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you could run this Departmento better. I dare you. You probably don't even have an administrative certification. You think accountability is just a word. It's a lifestyle.
Pulse rate elevated, sir, suggesting a return to audit protocol.
Right. You're right. The tithe waits for no one. Back to the ledger. What's the next disappointment?
Audit item D. Mortarion, Primarch of the Death Guard.
The Moth. The Lord of Decay. Let's see if his financial records are as rotten as his face.
Contractor Auspex ranks Mortarion at number 2, a very high ranking. He cites the virulent Vectorium detachment as his best home, and specifically praises an aura that ignores modifiers.
Ignores modifiers. The most misunderstood phrase in High Gothic. The civilian contractor is falling for the classic rules lawyer trap. He thinks this makes Mortarion broken.
Thesis 6 of the meta-analysis addresses the indirect fire fraud.
Fraud is the right word. There's this common misconception you see among the uneducated masses. They think because Mortarion lets plague burst crawlers ignore modifiers, they can fire their artillery indirectly and hit on 2s. They think they're bypassing the tax code.
The core rules state that indirect fire imposes a -1 penalty to hit.
Yes, and Mortarion ignores that. He ignores the penalty. But, and this is a very big but, Scribe, there is a clause, the Unmodified Fail clause.
Citing rules commentary. An unmodified hit roll of 1 to 3 always fails.
Always fails. That, Scribe, is not a modifier. That is a condition. It is a law of physics within the game engine. Mortarion can ignore modifiers. He can ignore the -1. He can ignore stealth. He can ignore smoke. He cannot ignore a condition.
The condition that 1, 2, and 3 are failures for indirect fire.
He cannot ignore it. So the mathematical outcome is...
The plague burst crawler hits on a 4, never better.
Exactly. It creates a stable floor. You won't hit on 5s or 6s, but there is no ceiling. You are not auto-hitting. The contractor ranking him number 2 implies he's some meta-breaking powerhouse. He is not.
Reclassification recommended.
He is B tier. He's an efficiency engine, a force multiplier. He makes your army consistent, but he doesn't break the game. He's a stable bond in a volatile market. Good, but not number 2.
Understood. Reclassifying Mortarion as stable yield asset. Moving to audit item E, Roboute Guilliman, Primarch of the Ultramarines.
The avenging bean counter. A man who loves logistics. My personal favorite, in theory. But in practice, in the current fiscal year, a bad investment.
Contractor Auspex ranks Guilliman at number 4. He notes a 42% play rate in his sample. He calls him a relevant choice and strong enough to be relevant in one of the very best armies.
Relevant. Relevant. Scribe relevant is what you call a tech priest who knows how to fix the toaster but not the Geller field. It is faint praise.
The Primarch meta-analysis labels him obsolescent.
Because he is. Look at the ROI, the return on investment. Guilliman cost around 350 points. For that price, you get a second Oath of Moment.
Oath of Moment allows full rerolls to hit and wound against a specific target.
Which is powerful, yes. But look at the competition. Look at Chapter Master Marneus Calgar. How much does Calgar cost?
Approximately 185 points.
It's half the price. Half. And what does Calgar give you for that price?
He provides +1 command point per turn.
Command points. In 2026, CP is liquidity. It's cash on hand. You need CP for Armor of Contempt to keep your vehicles alive. You need it for crucial stratagems. Calgar prints money. Guilliman just lets you kill one extra thing if you kill the first thing.
And there is also the matter of deployment.
The Aggressor Death Star, yes. The nail in Guilliman's coffin. Calgar leads a unit of aggressors with an Apothecary Biologus. They can advance, shoot, and charge. They have lethal hits. It's a nuclear weapon that moves 12 inches. And Guilliman...
He walks alone.
He's a monster. He can't join the unit. The subordinate is running the company better than the CEO. Guilliman watches from the shelf while Calgar wins the tournament. The contractor's data calls him strong enough. My audit calls him a bad ROI. If you are taking Guilliman over Calgar, you're making a sentimental decision, and sentiment gets you audited.
Verdict noted. Moving to the final item. Audit item F. Lion L. Johnson, the Primarch of the Dark Angels.
Yes. The Lion, the Knight, the Duelist. This is where the civilian contractor's report just falls apart completely. This is the discrepancy that triggered this whole audit.
Contractor Auspex ranks the Lion as number 1.
Number 1.
He describes him as an auto-include. He cites a 90% play rate in his sample. He calls him the cheapest Primarch at 315 points and notes he can warp through forests.
Auto-include, 90% play rate. Scribe, tell the listeners about the geometry of defeat.
The Lion is a monster keyword unit. He lacks the FLY keyword.
He lacks FLY. He's a pedestrian, a demigod who has to wait for the crossing signal. Now, visualize the board for me. The Lion is a melee beatstick. He hits hard, but he has an 8-inch move and a large base. What happens if I take 40 points 40 of Nurglings or Crude Hounds and I place them 1 inch away from him in a circle?
He cannot move over them because he lacks FLY. He cannot move through ruined walls because he is a monster.
It's the Nurgling cage. He's trapped. He is caged by small giggling demons. To get out, he has to charge them.
Wasting a turn killing a 40-point unit.
And then what happens?
He is left exposed.
Exactly. The lone operative rule only protects him if he's near friends or far away. The second he charges that chaff, he's standing in the open. Then the railguns open fire. Then the bright lances delete him. He is a 315-point paperweight.
But the contractor claims a 90% play rate.
In his sample. In the broader high-level meta, the Shark Tank investors sold their Lion stock months ago. They bought Deathwing Knights and Azrael.
Azrael provides a 4+ invulnerable save and CP generation.
For a fraction of the cost. Azrael's a Calgar of the Dark Angels. Efficient, cheap, useful. The Lion is a noob trap. He dominates the ignorant who run straight at him. Against a pro-circuit player who understands geometry, he's useless. Ranking him number 1 is gross negligence. It is fraud, a scandal. He's a liability, not an asset.
The audit is complete, Senior Auditor. Discrepancies have been logged.
Good. The ledger is balanced. The civilian contractor's optimism has been crushed by the weight of fiscal reality. Look at them, Scribe. Look at these files. Demigods of war. Sons of the Emperor, creatures of myth and legend. And what have we done to them? We've reduced them to efficiency spreadsheets. We measure their glory in points per wound and their heroism in movement characteristics.
It is the nature of the Departmento, sir.
The Lion, caged by Nurglings. The Phoenician, lost in the noise of a shooting gallery. Only Magnus understands. Only he knows that in the end, the only thing that matters is the resource economy, the math. It's all just numbers, Scribe. Just numbers on a dying cogitator.
Shall I initiate the shutdown sequence?
Yes. But first, the call to action. The only metric that keeps the servitors fed.
Initiating.
For the love of the God Emperor, tap that like button. Hit subscribe. Smash it like you're smashing a planetary governor who held back the tithe. It is the only way we stay operational.
Statement. Please leave a comment regarding your own fiscal analysis of the Primarchs.
Yes. Tell us which demigod you have invested your points in, and pray you get a return on that investment, because the audit is coming for us all.
File closed.
Dismissed. Pay your tithes, citizens.